Police are investigating a possible homicide in Surrey, and neighbors suggest the victim is an elderly woman. RCMP were called to a home near 69th Avenue and 152nd Street on Sunday afternoon after witnesses heard gunshots fired in the neighborhood. Very few details are known, but the victim was reportedly found inside the house, and neighbors say she was a grandmother. The Integrated Homicide Investigation Team has now been called in. BC's police watchdog has now taken over the case of a man shot dead by police in Vancouver over the weekend. Officers were called to East 41st Avenue and Knight Street on Saturday night after hearing reports of a man waving around a 2x4. Police say he refused to comply with instructions. The man was first hit with beanbag rounds before the fatal shot was fired.
It's really important to the affected person's family, as well as to the police officers and the public, that we have the best information available to us. So we are urging anyone who might have been in this area, who may have seen something, who may have taken video, who may know of someone who was here, to please call us.
The Vancouver Police Department says the decision to use potentially deadly force is not an easy one, and in this incident, the officers felt they had run out of options. It could take 6 to 9 months before we know if charges are going to be recommended against the officer involved. A man charged with the second-degree murder of his mother is expected to appear in court later this morning. Brian Whitlock was arrested at a home near West 23rd Avenue and Balaclava Street earlier this month following an 8-hour standoff with Vancouver police. The 28-year-old was also convicted of beating his German Shepherd and leaving it to die in a Kitsilano dumpster last year. Whitlock was sentenced to 60 days in jail. He was also given a lifetime ban on owning animals and 3 years probation. A man has now died from his injuries following a serious car crash in Surrey over the weekend. It happened on Saturday afternoon near 108th Avenue and 146th Street. A Honda CR-V crashed into another vehicle. A 40-year-old man was trapped inside the car, and firefighters used the jaws of life to get him out. He was rushed to hospital in cardiac arrest, where he later died. Officers say drugs and alcohol were not factors in the crash. 2 outgoing members of the Vancouver Park Board will take part in their final meeting this evening, and they're hoping to pass a bylaw forcing the Vancouver Aquarium to stop breeding whales and dolphins. Sarah Blythe and Constance Barnes led the fight to stop the program. There will be 5 Vision Vancouver commissioners and 2 NPA commissioners on the Park Board for this final vote tonight. But with the new predominantly NPA board coming in next month, they could vote to rescind the bylaw, and that could make the entire exercise this evening pointless. Protesters continue to defy an injunction to allow Kinder Morgan crews to conduct survey work on Burnaby Mountain. Veteran environmental activist David Suzuki joined the ranks of demonstrators yesterday. His own grandson was arrested last week. Children with their parents, as well as a busload of protesters from Vancouver Island, joined the demonstration against Kinder Morgan's survey for a new pipeline route. In fact, an 11-year-old girl and her mother were also taken off the mountain yesterday. More than 60 people have been arrested at this site since last Thursday.
If we continue to look at the land and the world around us just in terms of dollars and cents, we are going to destroy the very things that make that land so precious to us, the very things that keep us alive and healthy. That's what this battle is about. Thank you for coming.
Kinder Morgan wants to expand its Trans Mountain pipeline with a new route possibly going through the site in Burnaby. The city of Ferguson, Missouri is on edge this morning as the public waits to see if charges will be laid against a police officer who shot and killed an 18-year-old earlier this year. Crews have set up barricades around the building where a grand jury has been deliberating. Michael Brown was shot and killed by police officer Darren Wilson 3.5 months ago. The shooting sparked a riot and looting in the St. Louis suburb. Tension has been growing over the last couple of days as people await the grand jury's decision. Temperatures continue to climb in western New York as a flood warning looms in the city of Buffalo. The snow removal continues with 2 meters of snow still on the ground this morning. It's supposed to be 15 degrees Celsius today. Residents are packing up valuables and schools are closed in advance of potential flooding. The mayor of Buffalo says the city is making significant progress in clearing the snow-clogged streets. A driving ban continues in the region as hundreds of dump trucks, loaders, and other snow-removing equipment continue to work around the clock. A night meant to honor Daniel Sedin and his 1,000th NHL game ended with the fourth line stealing the show.
Just 5 seconds to go in the Vancouver power play. Bull Horvat sends one up the left wing for Dorsett. Now in front, Hansen scores!
Jannik Hansen scored his first hat trick in the NHL as the Vancouver Canucks defeated the Chicago Blackhawks 4-1 last night. Radim Vrbata had the other goal for Vancouver. Ryan Miller making 24 saves through the night. The Canucks are back in action tomorrow night. They host the New Jersey Devils. We now know who is going to battle for the Grey Cup here in Vancouver on Sunday. The Western Final was pretty much decided in the air. Stampeders quarterback Bo Levi Mitchell threw for 336 yards and 4 touchdowns as the Stamps down the Edmonton Eskimos 43-18. The 24-year-old Texan rushed for a touchdown as well in the win. On to the East Division final now. Brandon Banks had 2 punt returns for touchdowns, which helped the Hamilton Tiger Cats to a 40-24 victory over the Montreal Alouettes. Banks had 5 punt returns for a whopping total of 226 yards, which, by the way, is a playoff record. So, if you do the math, that means the 102nd Grey Cup game goes this Sunday at BC Place between the Calgary Stampeders and the Hamilton Tiger Cats. In the NFL, a huge game for the Seattle Seahawks taking on the league-leading Arizona Cardinals. Russell Wilson connected with backup tight end Cooper Helfet late in the third quarter as the Seahawks get back in the NFC West race with a 19-3 win.